Topping our half hour, we are just now getting a first-hand look at some dramatic video from a 40-mile police chase in New Mexico that erupted in gunfire this past spring.
Yeah, the lapel video of this is finally out, and it shows Rio Rancho police chasing who they say are ATM robbers all the way into Jemez Springs. This is from back in February. It all started out at an ATM in Rio Rancho right here near Southern and Country Club. A guy called 911 saying someone tried to rob him there.
I was at the ATM and a guy jumped out with a gun, put it right in my face, and he said, "Give me all your money, mother." I hit him with a car door, and he took off running.
Well, the guy who made the call ended up chasing the robbers until Rio Rancho police caught up with them. Officers then chased the robbers for 40 miles, eventually getting into a standoff, guns drawn there, urging the group to surrender. Then police start shooting.
Get on the ground! Shut up! Put the hands up to the side!
Now, 2 people give themselves up pretty easily. The third was caught after being shot in the hand. Now, Patrick Morgan, Kevin Wynn, and Patricia Baca are all charged with aggravated assault on a peace officer and aggravated fleeing. None of the officers involved were hurt. Well, a mom in Albuquerque, this young woman is facing some serious charges this morning after police say she left her 3-year-old to babysit his 2 younger siblings in a sweltering apartment. Investigators say a parole officer stopped to check in with Amanda Griego at this home on Wednesday. Police say her 3-year-old answered the door in a dirty diaper, and Griego was nowhere to be found. The officer then found a 2-year-old strapped into a high chair and an infant in a bassinet. Police say the kids were filthy and dehydrated in a 90-degree apartment. They also say there was marijuana on the floor. Griego, they say, showed up 45 minutes later, and that's when she got arrested. At 5:33, a city councilor's job is in jeopardy this morning after sheriff's deputies say he got into a fight about a woman.
The Espanola city councilor was arrested for allegedly pistol whipping and shooting a man in Milwaukee. 44-year-old Eric Radosevich was picked up by deputies Wednesday night. The alleged incident happened last weekend. The victim claims an unknown man was flirting with his wife at a gas station in Milwaukee. There was some sort of an argument. Then the victim claims Radosevich and 3 other men followed him into a nearby restaurant. That's when the victim claims Radosevich hit him on the head with a gun and shot at his truck.
It's no way for anyone to be acting, but especially a public figure in his position, it's really sets a bad example to the public.
Again, Radosevich is an Espanola city councilor. City officials tell us that his job is pending what happens with his case and whether he is convicted of a felony. Officers bust several people in a drug operation that was linked to a notorious Mexican drug cartel. Federal, state, and local law enforcement were all involved in this takedown. The arrest happened yesterday. It was the result of a 10-month investigation in New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Oklahoma, and it was tied to the Sinaloa drug cartel. 22 people were arrested. Officers say hundreds of luxury cars were stolen from lots, then brought to Albuquerque, where 2 employees of a company that contracts with the state allegedly provided clean titles and VIN numbers. The cars were taken to Mexico and traded for meth and heroin. Officers seized drugs and firearms during yesterday's raids.
5:35 now. Friends and family of a cyclist killed in a hit-and-run crash near Albuquerque are now offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of whoever did this. Michael Wolf was riding his bike in T. Harris earlier this month when some kind of a truck hit him, ran over him, and then just took off. Wolf died 8 days later. Sheriff's deputies think the truck could be a propane or a septic tank truck. If you have any information about the crash, please call the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department. Well, a new study by the Centers for Disease Control says New Mexico has the nation's highest rate of people dying from excessive drinking. The CDC says this excessive drinking is a major and a deadly problem all across the country, particularly here in New Mexico. It's another black eye for this state. The study defines heavy drinking as 8 or more drinks a week for women and 15 or more per week for men.
The investigation into the radiation leak at WIPP is now focusing on Los Alamos National Laboratory. The State Environment and Health Energy Federal Department investigating team has been at Llano for 3 weeks. It's all part of their investigation into the February leak at the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant near Carlsbad. Counselor for the State Environment Department says that this probe is one of 9 underway into what caused a barrel of toxic waste from Los Alamos to burst, contaminating 22 workers and shutting the nation's only permanent nuclear waste repository. A New Mexico man who caused a nationwide scare over the plague has died from a rare form of cancer. John Tull and his wife made international news back in 2002. The Santa Fe couple was on vacation in New York City when they were diagnosed with the bubonic plague. Now, it was the first reported case in more than 100 years. The plague caused Tull to fall into a coma, and both his feet had to be amputated. Well, the bacteria was later traced to fleas in the couple's Santa Fe backyard. Well, Tull died on Wednesday. He was 65 years old. Now, doctors do not believe that his cancer was related to past struggles with the plague. 5:37 now the time. News 13 has learned that for years, the state was collecting a small health care tax.
Yeah, the cash turned into a big pile of money, but the state forgot about it. That is until we started asking questions about it. Kim Holland is the one who looked into this on special assignment. She discovered that since 2005, all state chiropractors were paying a $25 impairment fee when they renewed their licenses every year. That has added up to nearly $116,000. But chiropractors and even the Board of Examiners forgot about this and never spent a penny of it.
Haven't been able to spend it because it was designed to spend on people with impairment problems, and there's just not an impairment problem within my profession.
Well, the board has now temporarily suspended the fee. So what's going to happen with all that money, $116,000, and what will the board do with the fee in the future? Check out our website for the full story from Kim Holland at KRQE.com, or you can watch it tonight at 9 on Tu Casa.